As far as sugarcane tigers are concerned, certainly the habitat is the main issue. So if surrounding sugarcane, you find now a tiger is also in search of the food and all. So the two aspects are there because you see that the eco-sensitive zone, the transition zone between the boundary of a national park or protected area, that needs to take care of it. And then accordingly, the land use surrounding the national park and sanctuary, that land use management should be, there should be integrated plan so that the tiger movement across the beyond the boundary of the protected area, because those boundaries that are created by us, tigers have not defined their boundaries like that. Just after that, there will be agriculture or like that. Second, as far as that, certainly the agroforestry surrounding to that is also one of the option where you can have tree cover also. And with that, the effective management of the protected areas, you see that the indication of the improvement in the tiger numbers, that itself is an indicator that health of the forest that is improving. Apart from that, the involving community and people with the great initiative of planting 35 crore seedlings and saplings in a single day, that is also a very great initiative. If you see that if community involvement is there and if the success is met, then certainly it is going to take care of a lot of improvement of the tree cover. Again, you are saying that the challenge, certainly the challenge is there, but at the same time, there are challenges of development, there are challenges of the population, there are challenges of the, you can say, urbanization. They have to go in hand, and with those challenges, if there are initiatives of such a large scale for improvement in tree or forest cover, that is certainly commendable.
Are these challenges really insurmountable? Because the ideal forest cover, as our policymakers often say, should be or has to be 33% of India's geographical area. Right now, it's only 25%. So what all you people are doing to cover up this gap?
Certainly, a lot of schemes, programs of the government of India and initiatives at the state government level also. That's the ideal thing you mentioned, but there are also ideal things related to, you said the what ideal should be the population and how much forest they need. They all have these issues can't be seen in the isolation. So you have to have all the measures together, and with those challenges, with having a large population also, if we have been successful in sustaining the forest cover, that itself is a very commendable effort. Because academically talking, it seems very easy that 33% to be achieved, but at the same time, with the challenge of the development pressure, challenge of the population, the success in terms of the sustaining that and improving it and improving quality, that itself is a big achievement. And certainly, you see with lot of initiatives recently, maybe in terms of the national park, sanctuaries, protected areas, landscape restoration, and other initiatives, the commitment of Honorable Prime Minister to have to bring about 26 million hectare under the land under forest landscape restoration by as a global commitment, which is the largest commitment globally by any of the nation. These are the initiatives, and certainly it is not only the government job, it is the community, government, everyone, all relevant stakeholders. The moment they realize and take action at the ground level, it will be success.
That's
Thank
really
you.
that's really commendable, Mr. Saxena. Now I would like to draw uh, Mr. Bakshi into the conversation. Sir, I mean, Delhi is your workplace, and like I was just speaking with you a few minutes ago, and Delhi has gone through a wonderful transformation as far as the forest cover is concerned. I believe it has really increased magnificently in the last few years. You tell us if this is a fact, if this is true, and how did you bring about this transformation?
Thank you so much for a wonderful question. So we started our march from 1989 when the Delhi was under the Labor Department, Delhi Forest Department. So we didn't have any forest department as such. So from that particular date, we marched to 24% today in the severe AQI of today's AQI, if you see. So biggest contribution to mitigate the AQI is the Delhi forest. And we achieved this March. You can see the targets given to us, and the FSI report says that in year 2010, our forest cover was nearly 11%, and now it's 24. We are reaching 24, 24.6, and this I am sure with the coming FSI report, which is a biennial report, it will be coming more than 24. So
But one thing is there, Bhusha Saab. On one hand, Delhi is one of the most populated cities of India. I believe the population is 2 crore. And to increase the forest cover from 11 to 24%, this, I mean, there would have been many challenges to achieve this feat. Could you shed a little light on this?
of course, we have a very limited land resource,
Right.
and of course, there are very, very important development projects for the state. But thanks to our acts, especially Forest Conservation Act and our Delhi Preservation of Tree Act, which says that if you cut one tree, you have to plant 10 number of trees. And in our FC Act also, in the Campa also, we are doing wonderful work. Our entire team of Delhi is doing wonderful work. And we are protecting our rich forest also with great efforts and dedication. And you can see the results which are coming. We have more than 10 city forests. We have wonderful ridge which we are protecting. We have Asola Wildlife Sanctuary. We have so many good parks which are equated with kind of city forest. So Delhi as such is, we are marching towards the greenest capital of the world. And FSI in its report itself said that Delhi is the greenest metro in the country.
I would also like to uh, ask a question to Mr. Saurabh Sharma. He's the Chief Conservator of Forest, Delhi. Shamaji, first of all, you tell us about your jurisdiction in Delhi. What are the key areas you look after, whether it's wildlife, whether it's tree cover, flora, fauna?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, particularly what my jurisdiction, if you ask, is to it's all there are four territorial divisions, field divisions in Delhi. So they are entrusted with various responsibilities, increasing the green cover, protecting the land, which is forest land, and then enriching the forests. And then the more in the one different jurisdiction which Delhi Forest Department has got compared to all other states in the country is the enforcement of DPTA, that is Delhi Preservation of Trees Act. And that is a very unique and a very useful act for Delhi, which has helped in increasing the green cover of Delhi over the years. Because that, as per the act, for any tree that has to be removed or even pruned, the permission of the forest department is required. So the DCFs, Deputy Conservator of Forest in the fields, they are entrusted as the responsibility of tree officers under the act. So, and if a permission is given for felling of even one tree, then 10 trees have to be planted to compensate that. So all these areas come the DCFs. I have the responsibility to ensure that all these things get done on the field. And yes, there is a wildlife sanctuary in Delhi, Asola Bhati Wildlife Sanctuary, as sir already mentioned. So there is a chief wildlife warden in Delhi for all the wildlife related matters. The regulatory authority is chief wildlife warden. But in Delhi, it becomes sometimes very difficult to differentiate between the works, particularly focused towards wildlife or other forestry works. So there has to be there is basically a small team of forest officers who are working together and delivering what is required on the ground.
You know, uh, in Delhi, you don't have national forests like you find in Sundarbans or you name of it. But the point is, you have island of forest, and I believe one of the major problems you would be facing is to stop human encroachments in areas like bridge areas, Solar Bhatti area. How big a problem is, how do you ward off this particular challenge?
Yeah, definitely. That is the biggest problem, biggest threat to ridge land in Delhi. Encroachment. There are two types of encroachments. One is legacy encroachment, because if you go into the history, how the ridge was notified, there were already habitations surrounding in those areas, and the Aravalli Ridge had to be protected. So, Honorable Supreme Court gave the protection that was needed at that time. And they were the ridge was notified through two different notifications in 94 and 96 as a notified forest under Indian Forest Act. So there are some legacy encroachments, old encroachments which are there, and there is always a continuous pressure of new encroachments from the habitations that are surrounding the areas. So uh, forest department has been able to at least stop the new encroachments, and there are regular drives to remove the old encroachments. If you go into the statistics, there is about 7,800 hectares of ridge land in Delhi that comprises of southern ridge. Major portion is of southern ridge, that is over 6,200 hectares, and then there is a south central ridge, and then northern ridge. So the biggest pressure of encroachment is in southern ridge. So there was when the demarcation was done of the land, and the revenue department gave prepared the maps and everything. So a figure which may not be sacrosanct as such, because that was a figure ascertained at that time, was around 400 hectares of encroachment. So that has come down to 300 as on date. So gradually the department has worked on removing even the legacy encroachments. So yeah, that we are moving towards that.
Mr. Bakshi, I would like to know something. That this question has really puzzled me for such a long time because I've been like frequently going to forests, whether it's Corbett, Kanha, Ranthambore. And then when you talk about increasing the forest cover, there are more than one type of forest. You have social forestry in which you grow trees. You have national forest. In Delhi, the situation is very interesting because, the ridge area, I believe it's an extension of Aravalli Hills. And Aravallis are, if I'm not mistaken, they're the oldest mountain, one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, older than the Himalayas. So you have natural forest, in the ridge, and then you have what you call planted trees. So qualitatively speaking, how are these two forests different, and do they house different kind of wildlife, bird life, and how do you manage these two types of forest differently?
Yeah. So I'll take you before independence. What happened that Westerlies used to come to Delhi, and to check that Westerlies, the Britishers thought that there is one species called Prosopis juliflora, Mexican kicker. So they aerially dispersed that, and it has come up very largely and become invasive species in Delhi.
Julie Flora, I'm told it has become a massive problem in
Yeah.
Uttarakhand.
So you see that our 60, more than 60% of the forest is of kikar that is infested in our ridge. So MC Mehta during 1992 has given 2-3 petition to the Honorable Supreme Court, and Supreme Court in its order, it's in one paragraph they mentioned that Delhi has two important features. One is ridge and second is Yamuna, and both has to be protected in their pristine glory. So after that, so many uh, committees and so many commissions has been appointed, and according to MC Mehta's case, we are having one ridge management board headed by chief secretary, and other officers are also member secretaries PCCF. So entire ridge is managed by very uh, important committee, and we discuss mainly how to restore our rich area by planting the indigenous species. All indigenous species like native trees of ridge. They are planted in ridge and also in the city forest. So largely we are converting our forest from the scrub to very dense and medium dense forest.
Okay, that's great. Shamaji, can you tell us something about, Mr. Bakshi just spoke about the Yamuna embankment area. So what all is being done there to increase the forest cover? Do we have a forest cover near Yamuna in the first place?
Yeah, there is. There are lots of plantations that have been done in Yamuna floodplains. So Yamuna floodplains basically are under the jurisdiction of DDA in Delhi. So the entire land bank there, but gradually over the years, some lands have been handed over to the forest department. Approximately, if I remember correctly, about 700 hectares or so. On those lands, there are good planted forests that have been created by the forest department. And even other than those areas in Yamuna floodplains, development is being taken up by DDA themselves. So with the right mix of grasses, shrubs, and the trees, which are indigenous to the Yamuna floodplains. So yeah, but it is an ongoing process. It is not something which has basically been concluded yet. So it will take some more time to reclaim basically Yamuna floodplains in the way they should be.
I'm told that, Shamaji, that after Nairobi, Kenya, uh, Delhi probably has the largest number of bird species. And I believe if you have more forest cover, you'll have more bird life. Uh, is that a fact, or I mean, to what extent does bird life depend on more trees, or it's not dependent on it at all?
Definitely, it depends on the green cover. We have to
Yeah,
have the patches of forest. See, first of all, we have to understand that this is a city state we are talking about.
right,
So we cannot have very dense, huge forests like there are in other states. But still, if there is a right mix of trees and the species and the water bodies as well, they are very important for the birds and migratory birds. But still, if you look at the figures of the or just read the reports, that there are lots of migratory bird species which come to Delhi. So despite having so much population pressure and the very limited land bank, so yeah, that definitely it can be improved, and the department is consistently working towards that. But there is still great scope.
uh, Ms. Bakshi, I would like to come over to you. Uh, you just mentioned, while we were speaking before this talk, that Asola Bhatti has as many as 8 leopards. Is that a fact?
Yeah, it's a guesstimate because BNHS directly cited near
Right.
about. So we have like indirect, uh, you can say proofs of leopards there. Direct sightings are there and scats are there. So you can say that a good population.
Or, or at a kisik distance from Jaipur, which has emerged as one of the finest leopard sighting places in India. Do you think Asola Bhatti also carries this, potential where, one can go and, see leopards in their natural habitats? And if this is not the situation now, can you actually make this happen by, safeguarding the forest or safeguarding the leopard there?
Yeah, definitely it is a very important protected sanctuary, and it's a corridor of, you can say, Mangar and adjoining to Sariska and also Ranthambore. The
Okay.
corridor is plays a vital role, and how it came, it may be because of that corridor. But now it is very much enriched with the species and also a good number of herbivore population. So maybe because of that, the population of leopards are increasing, and we are also having a very important role in mitigating the monkey menace
Okay.
in the metro. So We have more than 30,000 monkeys in Asola Bhati. So that also may have attracted leopard population.
Right. Of late, Nazafgarh drain, which passes right through the center of the city, it has emerged as a, a true birder's paradise. इससे पहले लोग जाते थे भरतपुर में दूसरी जगहों पे, but now I'm seeing people showing a lot of interest in Nazafgarh. Can you shed some light on it, and what all are you people doing to increase the forest cover there in Nazafgarh area?
Najafgarh is very important drainage and jheel, you can say, uh, because of its nature and it's a shallow in this season. So a lot of migratory birds, in fact, painted storks are there last few weeks back. So it started coming now, and we have a very good organization, the NHS, and also we have given some study to Wildlife Institute of India for ringing experiment and also the census of birds. So most probably within say a year, we will get the entire data of bird species coming to Delhi in Najafgarh Jheel, also in Nili Jheel, and many more wetlands which are in Delhi. More than 50 wetlands we are attracting the birds population from flyway.
Shamaji, you spoke about the you know uh, how human population has been putting pressure on the daily forests, rich areas, the social forestry scene. What about the other factors such as pollution, such as industrialization? Are these factors also negatively impacting your aim to provide more forest cover to Delhi?
I think these factors are the result of basically the green cover. If you see the dichotomy here, although the green cover is increasing, but over the years we still see that AQI is not subsiding. So there are other factors at play here. So I would say that we can look at it from this perspective that despite having this much green cover, about 342 square kilometer of the capital under green cover, we are still seeing these AQI levels. So definitely we need much more than this. But the pressure is always there. But the biggest pressure I would still say is the population pressure. The expansion, the people need place to stay, and there are important government projects which cannot be avoided. There are housing projects which cannot be avoided because of the pressure. Industrialization per se in Delhi can't be attributed to creating hurdles for forest cover because they are limited in few pockets and the areas. There are rules where they can set up industrial estates. So, but yeah, definitely population is the biggest pressure.
Right. Mr. Bakshi, you know, whatever you may do, at the end of the day, you will need support from various stakeholders, whether it's government bodies, whether it's NGOs, like-minded people. So what all is your department doing to gather such support from these quarters, and who all have been helping you, in this direction?
So, we are under the MOEF and CC,
Right.
Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. And our Prime Minister has given a wonderful target in Paris Agreement for 2.5 to 3 billion ton of carbon sequestration, afforestation. And that only we can do. Each forester has to contribute on this. And we have a very good scheme called CAMPA,
Camp.
Compensatory Afforestation
Right.
Scheme. And in Delhi also we have several schemes in which we take support from the communities, from the bodies, from NGOs, and even religious organizations also come forward. And all efforts are taken to increase the forest cover. In fact, entire, you can say, in India, we are marching ahead in in the targets of Paris Agreement or Aichi targets, and we are rapidly marching towards greener India. And maybe because satellites cannot lie,
Right.
so our satellites are saying that we are marching towards the greener India.
Satellites cannot lie, but at the same time, a map is not the territory. That's an old adage. My point is, you know, sparrows, frogs, and butterflies, they have vanished from Delhi. People who were born 30, 40 years ago, they must have seen these things. But if you ask today's kid, so this I believe is a big casualty. And I wonder if, by increasing the forest cover, you will bring these species back to Delhi.
I deny the fact that the sparrows are not in Delhi. I will invite you in my residence over a cup of tea and show you the flocks of sparrows. So it's not true,
But
actually.
they used to be everywhere in
Yeah.
each and every corner
So
of the
of
city.
course, because the habitat is different of the sparrow, but all efforts are taken to have. Well, we have our sparrow village also, and all efforts
Sparrow
are.
village.
Yeah. So we are in the making of the village also for making very conducive atmosphere for the sparrows near Gadimandu. And butterfly, you can say every city park has large number of butterflies.
Okay.
Butterfly park has only two components. One is the nectar plant and one is the host plant. If you in your garden, if you plant host plant and the nectar plant, then your garden also will become butterfly park. It's so simple science. So only thing is to select the good species and the butterfly will be in your garden.
When we talk about selecting the good species, in many places, uh, weeds such as lantana have been playing a very negative role, you know, in destroying the forest in Uttarakhand, in Madhya Pradesh also. So, what kind of problems are you facing in Delhi?
Yeah, lantana is a very, I think, biggest problem in wildlife habitat, and our entire forest department is taking a lead in mitigating it, and we have several methods to check the growth of lantana,
Right.
and lot many things are also coming up to use the lantana wood for good things like plywood and this kind of things which are useful for the society. So I think, uh, yeah, it's very important problem that all the wildlifers are facing, but at the same time, it is giving a good habitat to the birds also.
Okay. Mr. Sharma, you just said that industrialization is not really impacting the forest cover. This morning, everybody woke up to the news that the AQI of Delhi has, like really worsened. It's more than 400. So, is this rising pollution, high AQI, also affecting our forest covers in a negative way?
Uh, if if the AQI is increasing, as I said, there are multiple factors that are at play here. So forest cover as such with rising level can't be impacted, but if the forest cover increases, definitely AQI will be impacted. So that's why I said that we have good amount of forest cover in Delhi, which no one can deny that it is as per the reports, it is the highest per capita forest cover in the major cities in the countries, but still we need more, because this rising AQI is a problem which cannot be averted by a single effort from a single direction. So efforts from all the directions, the root causes of increasing pollution, and the uh, our interventions which can mitigate the problem, and one of the biggest intervention would be increasing the green cover. So if that is done, yeah, definitely AQI can be controlled. But How we do it is the biggest challenge here because the land bank is limited
Right.
and there is increasing pressure. But we have to come up with some innovative strategies, like the way, as I mentioned initially, in our Delhi Preservation of Trees Act. At that time, policymakers came up with the idea that for every tree to be felled, there are 10 trees to be planted. So something, if not exactly that, in terms of improving the quality of forest, if not the quantity, that has to be the focus.
Yeah, the quality of forest is very important. And when you say 10 trees to be planted, do you find enough space in the city to plant 10 trees, for every one tree uh, uh, which is cut down?
Yeah, till date, yes, we are finding, but if you talk about future,
The
yeah, there will,
space is at a
yeah,
premium in the city.
a time would come when there will be no land available.
Yeah. Then
So,
what would you do?
so that's what I'm saying. We have to come up with something which this thing has served us till now. It will serve us for some more time, but it can't go on forever.
Bakshi Saab, this conversation brings me to a very obvious question. Uh, Delhi has such a wonderful birding site in Nazafgarh Drain. In fact, here Sarita Vihar also adjoining Noida. It's a it's a lovely birding site. People go there to watch and photograph birds. And then you have leopards in Asola Batti and near Delhi. Even in scenic form areas, leopards often come. So the point is, in many states, ecotourism is the buzzword. But in this city, even the residents do not, they're completely unaware of the kind of treasures which they have. So, do you think there is a possibility of, you know, making people uh, aware of the ecotourism scene, and how can you as a senior forest officer, you know, uh, work in this direction? Not only make people aware about the ecotourism potential, but also to get more tourists and generate ecotourism as an industry, the way it is being done in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, the so-called tiger states.
Yeah. So we are also facing problems like somehow we should restrict the population to enter because of the encroachment because the Asola Bhati is adjoining Delhi to Haryana. And of course, we have made very good few eco tourist spots like Neeli Jheel, Butterfly Park, and 10 number of trails, the trekking routes also. So uh, we have many things to attract the tourists. We have a cycle track of 16 kilometers. In coming week, walkathon and marathon will be there.
That's great.
So now large number of tourists are coming as such in our all city forest and Jahanpana city forest is also there. One Hojrani city forest is also there. Large number of populations are doing yoga and many things, many things. So as such, we have not approved any ecotourism plan, but surely with the help of mastermind and media, these spots will become popular.
So it has been a lovely interaction, and I would like to again thank you, Mr. Bakshi and Mr. Sharma, for this interaction.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, panelists. It was indeed an enlightening session. And so, shall we begin? Thank you so much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and eco warriors, a very warm welcome to the Eco Warrior Awards 2023, the first ever dedicated awards to honor Indian Forest Service officers. My name is Bhakti Kothari, and I am your host for the day. Today, we gather here to honor exceptional individuals and initiatives that have made significant contributions to environmental conservation and sustainable practices. We are privileged to have esteemed personalities and experts from the field of forestry and wildlife conservation with us. Our awards for the night are sponsored by the Animal Care Organization, or TACO, a unique animal welfare project under the aegis of Anil Agrawal Foundation, the philanthropic arm of Vedanta Limited. It is aimed at providing world class infrastructure, veterinary services, a training facility, and animal shelters to heal and protect animals. TACO's vision is to enable a compassionate India where every animal lives with dignity and respect. It has been working on a mission to establish a sustainable and scalable ecosystem for the well being of animals based on the principles of One Health. Other sponsors for the night include HPCL, a Maharatna company in oil and gas sector, GAIL, India's leading natural gas company, and Okivana, ye Sahi hai. We hope you've all had the opportunity to visit the photo exhibition. If not, I kindly request all of you to please do so during the tea time. It is a wonderful display of talent from our officers, and we are grateful to Mr. Akash Das, a wildlife photographer of international reputation, for agreeing to showcase his pieces of art and for encouraging other officers to share their talents. The huge response to the nominations and photo exhibitions was indeed overwhelming. It is clear that our officers are passionate about their work and about sharing their creativity with the world. I hope that you will enjoy the exhibition. Now, before we begin with the event for the day, let's watch this beautiful audio visual, which will give a clear idea on who our eco warriors are and why did we feel it was necessary to acknowledge their unconditional services.
Warriors are none other than our IFS officers who serve as passionate advocates for the planet's well-being. The Indian Forest Services stands as one of the three All India services of the Government of India, alongside the Indian Administrative Service and the Indian Police Service. It was constituted in the year 1966 under the All India Services Act of 1951. After successfully conquering the UPSC challenge, choosing the Indian Forest Services as a career path is no ordinary decision. Those who opt for the Indian Forest Services have a unique love for nature, a profound sense of responsibility towards our planet, and a fervent passion for initiating sustainable and beneficial challenges for both humankind and the earth. These IFS officers are dedicated individuals actively engaged in promoting environmental conservation, sustainability, and the battle against climate change. Armed with knowledge and a profound sense of responsibility, eco warriors champion various causes, ranging from the preservation of biodiversity to the dissemination of awareness about pressing environmental issues. They drive change through grassroots initiatives, online campaigns, and community outreach, passionately encouraging societies and governments to embrace eco-friendly practices and policies. The infrastructure development like dams, roads, and railway line construction, besides mining for coal, diamonds, and minerals, also takes a toll on the environment. Indian Forest Services officers have ensured conservation of both flora and fauna in the country. Available data is a testimony that forest cover in India has increased over the years, and so has wildlife like tigers, leopards, and elephants. It is due to their sustained efforts that cheetahs have now returned after a gap of 70 years. Eco warriors possess a deep understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and nature, tirelessly working to safeguard our planet for current and future generations, thereby catalyzing a more sustainable and harmonious coexistence with the earth. Indian Masterminds proudly introduces the Eco Warriors Award to recognize their remarkable contributions. This annual accolade aims to fill a void that has long existed in the national recognition landscape. By instituting the Eco Warriors Award, we not only honor these exemplary individuals, but also provide them with a platform to showcase their achievements. Beautiful planet, Earth's eco warriors are none other than our IFS officers who serve as passionate advocates for the planet's.
Sorry for that. Anyway, moving on. As you are aware, we will be discussing some important issues facing the forest and wildlife conservation in the next few hours. in a national conclave, which will be followed by a tea break. We will assemble again to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, our special guests, Honorable Minister for State for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Shri Ashwini Kumar Chaube ji, and Secretary in the Minister, Ms. Leela Nandan ji. This shall be followed by a beautiful program of sand art and awards distribution ceremony. So let's start the program with the second national conclave for the day. The topic for the conclave would be use of technology in conservation. Gone are the days when tigers used to be counted through pug marks. Even camera traps are passé. Use of technology in conservation of forests and wildlife, besides prevention and detection of forest related crimes, has made things easier for forest officials. Whether it's M stripes for tigers, Simba for lions, or the use of drones for elephants and GPS, technology is helping the forest officials at every step. To talk about these steps, we are joined by Dr. Mohan Ram, Sanctuary Superintendent of Sasangir, Senior Biswajit Mishra, and Mr. Amit Anand, DCF Protection and Monitoring, Delhi. Senior journalist and our editor, Mr. Sharad Gupta, will be moderating this enlightening session. Please welcome on the stage, sir. ठीक है सर.
Good afternoon. Let us start the session. And as Bhakti just now told us, technology is being increasingly used in the forest for conservation, protection, detection, and investigation. So, first, I'll start with Mr. Vishwajit Mishra. So, you have been not only active in the forest, but in health, transport, in so many other departments. And you have successfully used technology to make life easier for people. So, first thing is your engineering background has come in handy for it.
Thank you, Gupta ji. Yes, you're right to some extent. Engineering background gives us certainly strength of understanding the technology in a better way. It also helps us to understand what it can do and what it can't do. And to that extent, but there are exceptions as well, because if I see my team itself, a lot of forestry background officers are also doing very well in the technological field. But yes, you are right. Whatever background, if you have a technological background, these innovations become a little more easier to adopt.
So, Dr. Mohan Ram, kindly tell us something how you came about Simba and how's it helping the conservation of Gir lions.
Thank you for your question. Just I'll give you a brief about technology. Especially, I'm working in the Asiatic lion landscape, Gir and Greater Gir landscapes. And in that one, we are using technology in many ways. Simba is one of the technological things which we are using in that landscapes. In the Simba, if you see tigers or maybe other big cats, there are some markings on the body you can individually identify, and that is very helpful for the conservation and management of the species. But if you see the lions, especially, there is no definite markings on the body. So we thought, why not to use some technology to identify these individuals, to augment the individual identification in the conservation and management. Then we have gone through the lot of literatures, then came to know that this whisker pattern that technically is known as Vibrisci pattern is some of the unique thing which can help in the identification of the Asiatic lions. And then we search how we can use this one for the identification. Then we started searching the Make in India thing also there to have a software made in India. Then we come to know that one company is doing on such kind of artificial intelligence working, and that idea was generated and given to them. They also made some improvements over the period. It took around 9 to 10 months to develop the software. And with the help of this Vibrisci pattern, then some Vino change on the ear, maybe some face markings on that one, we developed a software which was able to identify reasonably good identification of the Asiatic lions. And then we augmented with the microchip database also. Whatever we are having, we integrated all these data in that one. And with the management things also, like what we have the veterinary data, if that data can be added also. We have if there is a death or casualty, that post-mortem report can also be uploaded. So if you talk about assortment, this will be a other kind of things for the Asiatic lions, which we are developing over the period. And now the AI is again advanced. So we are improving the softwares for the further identification. Earlier we used to have this image based. Now even video can be also added. That will be also helpful for the identification of the Asiatic lions in the landscape.
That's very interesting. So far, we used to understand that stripes of a tiger makes it characteristic stand out from others. But all the lions used to look same. So now you told us that from whiskers and their tufts, we can identify a lion from others. And Mr. Anand, now tell me something about how technology is being used for protection and detection.
See, at present, there are a lot of technology.
Right.
And at present scenario, if you know the threats,
Right.
okay, there is a technology to identify the threat.
Right.
So, in forestry sector, there has always been data.
Ji.
It's information which is required at right time and at right place to act.
Ji.
That's what brings the protection of resources.
Right.
So at present, if you have a threat perception, what are the threat perceptions? And if you have the right kind of technology to have the data collected and created an information which is useful for the field. Technology in itself, if only it is collecting data, does not bring protection. It is right information which is generated using technology that brings protection of forest and wildlife both. And if you see FSI's contribution in forest fire, it is creation of right information at right time and dissemination, which helps us to identify where fire has happened, take action timely, and ameliorate the effects of fire. And similarly, in Delhi, we have got different kind of challenge.
Right.
It is all about encroachment. And encroachment, in terms of encroachment, time lapse photos, having a record of time lapse photos of our own, of various sources, and then identify where attempts of encroachment is happening again and again, and then trying to identify which are the areas where you need to mobilize your resources, where protection has to be done continuously. Similarly, as you said, ki leopard population is increasing in Delhi. Having a right protection setup so that the wildlife which is ever increasing in Delhi as of now
Right.
can be protected by having these data, controlling entry points, controlling activity in and around areas having wildlife, and then having a mechanism to react timely. In Delhi, we are fortunate to have very good people participation in protection. They gave us real time information of anything they observe is not which is adversely affecting the forest trees. They give us very we get information on daily basis. We have a mechanism to track our resources, respond quickly, and take measures for protection of wildlife, trees, forest, attempts to encroachment, etc. So at this point of time, more and more with human resource becoming more and more comfortable with technology, it's becoming more and more easier to push technology in the in the sector of forest and wildlife.
Sir, Mr. Mishra, you have developed so many IT solutions. So that and you have been awarded and honored for developing those solutions. So please tell us how these solutions are preventing the logging and how you are managing using technology.
देखिए गुप्ता जी, very important thing in technology is that it should be useful finally to our staff.
Right.
So whatever you develop, if it has advantage or it gives higher efficiency to our ground staff, that will succeed. They should find value in it. So any technology intervention which you do, as you rightly said, involves a lot of change management. You suddenly introduce something, they will not adopt it like that. So it takes some time. Actually, the easier part is development of the software. The difficult part is to make them use it and make that part of the system which will never go. So they would like to use it for perpetuity. इसमें बहुत सिंपल आपको एग्जांपल देता हूं.
जी.
अभी हमारे मित्र कह रहे थे एनक्रोचमेंट. देखिए हमारा स्टाफ गार्ड्स फॉरेस्टर्स ही हैं जो कि एनक्रोचमेंट आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं या रेंज ऑफिसर हैं जो ग्राउंड पे आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं.
जी.
When they identify till now, and we have also spent now 25 years in service, and when we had joined, we had this aspiration that when we go to the field and we are moving in a forest, we would say this patch of land is certainly forest, and this patch of land is certainly not forest. Even after 25 years, the question in most of the states remains the same. Very important component of our conservation is land. And we are still not sure about our land. And what do? Let us say we identify an encroachment, and finally we hold responsible our ground staff for that. Have we enabled them? Have we given them the tools? Each of them is actually manning and controlling 15,000, 20,000 hectares of forest. Minimum I'm talking about. Is it just possible for him? For that matter, all of us as Indian Forest Service officers, if we are given that much of task, we will not be able to do that. So it's a stupendous task for them. Our job is to enable them that they are in a position to use technology and their work becomes easier. So a very simple tool which we have given them is, obviously it takes a lot of time. It took us almost 5 years working with ISRO, RSC, CARSAT. But now we have a tool which tells them this patch of land at a pedestal level is your forest. And this is outside. When we find our guard getting confident about his resources which he is managing, then we start feeling confident about the entire management of forest. So our major objective in all the development of applications is how we make easy life of our staff, how we make life of the citizens who interact with us easy. With this objective, all the applications have been developed.
और राम जी एक चीज बताइए कि जो लॉयंस कई बार टाइगर्स के साथ भी होता है, जंगल के बाहर चले जाते हैं. ह्यूमन कन्फ्लिक्ट, मैन एनिमल कन्फ्लिक्ट की जो सिचुएशन क्रिएट होती है वो गिर में नहीं है, वहां पे लॉयंस बहुत ही कंफर्टेबल हैं ह्यूमन प्रेजेंस से। तो ऐसे में क्या, अगर जैसे बाकी जगह टाइगर्स के साथ होता है मैन एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, तो उसको रोकने के लिए टेक्नोलॉजी कैसे यूज की जा सकती है? बहुत जगह हो रहा है ना, शुगर केन टाइगर्स इन यूपी, बहुत बहुत जगह हो रहा है। तो कैसे आप यूज कर सकते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी को मैन एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रोकने के लिए?
देखिए, जो आपने बात किया कॉन्फ्लिक्ट की और गिर लैंडस्केप की, इट इज ऑलवेज यूनिक। और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऐसा नहीं कि बिल्कुल नहीं है, देर इज कॉन्फ्लिक्ट, बट द लेवल ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है वो लो है। उसके पीछे एक कारण है, लायंस और लेपर्ड्स का दोनों का डिफरेंट बिहेवियर है। इवन आपस में जो तीनों, ये जो बिग कैट, लायन, लेपर्ड और टाइगर्स, यू कांट कंपेयर देम विथ रेस्पेक्ट टू बिहेवियर्स। लायंस का बड़ा सोशल टाइप का बिहेवियर है, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम आप देखोगे तो उसको कोई जब तक कुछ नहीं करे तब तक वो किसी को कुछ ऐसा नहीं करता कि जाके डिस्टर्ब कर लिया, पकड़ लिया। हाँ, ये हो सकता है कभी मिस्टेकन आइडेंटिटी हो, कुछ और ऐसा हो गया, या बहुत ही क्लोज इनकाउंटर हो गया, तो इट्स ए डिफरेंट मैटर। अदरवाइज जनरली लायंस का इस तरह का बिहेवियर नहीं है। एक तो ये फैक्टर है। सेकंड फैक्टर है सौराष्ट्र, जिसमें लैंडस्केप में लायंस है, उसका कल्चरल है। उन लोगों का जो इवोल्यूशनरी आप देखोगे तो, और उनमें एक कल्चर है ये कि वाइल्ड लाइफ के प्रति उनका टॉलरेंस लेवल है वो बहुत हाई होता है। इवन जैसे आप खेत है, फ्रिंज पे खेत है, लायन इवनिंग में बाहर निकल गया, तो फार्मर जाके इस तरह से हल्ला नहीं मचाएगा कि भाई लायन आ गया, ये नहीं आ गया। वो अपने एक साइड में काम करेगा, दूसरी साइड लायन बैठा है, एंड दैट यू कैन सी इन गिर, इस तरह से। सेकंड फैक्टर ये भी है, उतना ही जितना वो रेस्पेक्ट फार्मर दे रहा है इंडिविजुअल जो वाइल्ड लाइफ को, उतना ही रेस्पेक्ट लायन भी फार्मर को दे रहा है। आप देखिएगा वहां पे, तो वो जो को एग्जिस्टेंस का लेवल है वहां पे, वो एक डिफरेंट है। और आई मस्ट से जो भी है वहां पे आके एक बार देखना चाहिए कि वो किस तरह का एक मैनेजमेंट है उसी में। उसी के साथ साथ एक डिपार्टमेंट ने एक बहुत अच्छा सिस्टम डेवलप किया है वहां पे, वो भी काफी यूनिक है उसका, कि कुछ भी हो, सबसे देखो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट मैनेजमेंट में दो बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें, एक तो है आप कितनी देर में रेस्पॉन्ड करते हैं, दूसरा रेस्पॉन्ड किए तो आप किस तैयारी के साथ में जा रहे हो उसमें से, या जो बंदे से जहां से गए हो उसको कैसे टैकल करते हो सिचुएशन को। आप जितना जल्दी रेस्पॉन्ड कर सकते हो, हमारा जो रेस्पॉन्स टाइम है ना वो बहुत मिनिमम है, जितना हो सकता है हम रिड्यूस करने का उसको कोशिश करते हैं। और सेकंड जो पॉइंट जो मैंने आपको बताया कि जैसे आप गए तो पूरी तैयारी के, स्पीसीज कौन सी है, लायन है, लेपर्ड है या फिर क्रोकोडाइल है, हम उसी स्पीसीज की तैयारी के साथ में जाते हैं। और वहां पे जो हमारी टीम है, जो कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग का सामने बताया, जो फ्रंट पे जो काम करता है, वही स्टाफ साथ में जाना है, कॉल उसी को आना है ऑन द स्पॉट में। उनका गियर में हम कंटिन्यूअस कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग करते हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी क्या आ गया, टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ हम हमारा बेसिक नहीं भूले, वो भी उतना ही जरूरी है। उसके साथ साथ में अभी जो कंजर्वेशन के एस्पेक्ट है, लोगों की क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस है, क्या चैलेंज है, वो सब भी ट्रेन करते हैं। इसी के साथ में जो ये बताया कि आपने रेडियो टेलीमेट्री के नाम सुने होंगे, काफी रेडियो टेलीमेट्री की टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत पुरानी भी है, लेकिन हम इसको गियर में कंजर्वेशन मैनेजमेंट में यूज किए, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट अवॉइड में। जो कुछ कुछ प्राइड है या फ्रिंज पे घूम रहा है या एनिमल बहुत ज्यादा लीनियर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे जा रहा है, उनमें हमने कॉलरिंग प्रैक्टिस किया। कॉलरिंग करना और डेटा को यूज नहीं करना, देयर इज नो यूज। या फिर ठीक है, साइंटिफिक पब्लिकेशन इससे डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट, उसमें से उसका एक अपना यूज है, पर हम रियल टाइम कंजर्वेशन एंड मैनेजमेंट में यूज किए। यूज ऐसा किया कि बहुत जो एनिमल बार बार जा रहा है या इस तरह का कुछ हो रहा है, उसका कंटिन्यूस एक अलर्ट जनरेशन सिस्टम बना दिया, जो कि जैसे ही ह्यूमन हैबिटेशन के नजदीक गया या कोई लीनियर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के नजदीक जा रहा है, उसको हम जियो फेंस कर दिए। तो जैसे ही उसमें एंटर होता है तो हमारे कंट्रोल सेंटर है, गियर हाईटेक मॉनिटरिंग यूनिट, उसमें मैसेज आता है, एंड दैट मैसेज इज ट्रांसमिटेड टू द फील्ड स्टाफ, जो कि वहां जाकर के फिर उसके ऊपर एक्शन करते हैं, एंड दे विल रिवर्ट बैक बैक टू अस आल्सो कि क्या एक्शन हो गया है। तो जो डेटा आता है उसका प्रॉपर यूज उस इंफॉर्मेशन का, और आगे उसको कैसे करते हैं, इसके बेस पे हम ये भी आइडेंटिफाई कर रखे हैं कि किस सीजन में कौन कौन से कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हॉटस्पॉट्स हैं जिसमें हमें ज्यादा ध्यान देने की जरूरत है सीजन वाइज। और वो हॉटस्पॉट हमारे यूनिफॉर्म स्टाफ को बताया जाता है कि आप इस सीजन में थोड़ा इस चीज पे ध्यान रखिएगा। जो कि देखिए, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट 100% अवॉइड नहीं किया जा सकता, क्योंकि हमारी पॉपुलेशन, वाइल्ड लाइफ की पॉपुलेशन डाइवर्सिटी देखिए, हम इसके लेवल को काफी रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं। टेक्नोलॉजी प्लस जो हमारा नॉलेज है, प्लस लोगों के पास काफी कल्चरल थिंग्स है, उस सबको यूज करके हम काफी कुछ इसमें आगे बढ़ सकते हैं।
ये आनंद साहब, आप बस, दिस इज द कंक्लूडिंग क्वेश्चन ऑफ द सेशन, एंड आई लाइक टू नो फ्रॉम यू कि ऐसे कौन से एरियाज हैं जहां पे भी आपको लगता है कि टेक्नोलॉजी इंट्रोड्यूस करके हम बेटर रिजल्ट्स डिलीवर कर सकते हैं फॉरेस्ट कंजर्वेशन, फॉरेस्ट वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन के लिए?
जहां तक फॉरेस्ट वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन की बात है, ऐसा कोई एरिया नहीं है जिसमें बिना टेक्नोलॉजी के हम डिलीवर कर पाएंगे इन कमिंग टाइम्स। एंड हमारा चैलेंज, जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चैलेंज है, वो है क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी अवेलेबल बहुत है, राइट टेक्नोलॉजी का सिलेक्शन, उस टेक्नोलॉजी को उस तरीके से यूज करना कि सिर्फ डेटा जनरेट ना हो, इंफॉर्मेशन जनरेट हो। और अब जो हमारा चैलेंज सिर्फ इतने तक तो है नहीं कि हमें फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ का कंजर्वेशन करना है, इट इज ऑल्सो सर्विस ओरिएंटेड, सर्विसेज देना है। एंड इवन वाइल्ड लाइफ, ह्यूमन वाइल्ड लाइफ conflict resolution is one of the most important services that we provide. और ये सारा जो गैम्बिट है, इसमें having a dedicated institutional mechanism to select right technology, ठीक है, rapid rather than haphazardly putting it in our staff's hand and then seeing them fail or not utilize. It is very important to have a mechanism to adopt technology which facilitates ground staff work. It does not overburden them with additional work which start hampering them otherwise. Having a smart solution so that they are they deliver on our behalf if we deliver what they require to deliver in field. और जो समरी भी, जो अगर देखा जाए सर्स ने जो बोला है, उसमें बहुत क्लियर है कि वट एवर हैज बिन सक्सेसफुल और अडॉप्टेड हैज बिन थॉट, क्योंकि कभी कभी हम लोग ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस और ईज ऑफ लिविंग पे फोकस करते हैं, लेकिन जो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग है कि ईज ऑफ लिविंग, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी कभी कभी बनता है, इट डिलीवर्स ईज ऑफ लिविंग फॉर जनरल पब्लिक, लेकिन हमारे स्टाफ के लिए इट बिकम्स कम्बरसम एंड ईज हमारे स्टाफ का खत्म हो जाता है लिविंग का, एंड दैट क्रिएट्स अ रिपल्सन फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी। मॉनिटरिंग जो है वो तब तक इफेक्टिव रहता है जब तक हम उसको परफॉर्म करने के लिए राइट टेक्नोलॉजी राइट अमाउंट में और राइट टाइम पे दे रहे हैं। सो दैट इज मोस्ट, एंड देयर इज नो सेक्टर फॉरेस्ट एंड वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन में विच कैन बी ड्रिवन फॉरवर्ड विदाउट टेक्नोलॉजी।
जी बताइए।
If you permit, just I'll add in this also एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल है फील्ड से। हमने कुछ बर्ड्स में भी ट्रांसमीटर्स वगैरह का काम किया, बहुत हुआ है पूरी दुनिया में भी, लेकिन एक बताता हूँ कि स्टाफ को भी कैसे खुशी होती है उससे। एक बर्ड का हम कंट्रोल सेंटर में कंटिन्यूस मॉनिटर करते हैं, हाईली रेस्ट्रिक्टेड मूवमेंट आया कि बहुत ही ज्यादा एक ही फील्ड के इस पे मूवमेंट आ रहा है, ऐसे कंट्रोल सेंटर के स्टाफ ने उस बर्ड का अलर्ट दिया कंसर्न फॉरेस्टर को फील्ड में। देन फॉरेस्टर को लोकेशन के साथ दिया, वो स्पॉट पे गया और उसने देखा कि बर्ड जो था एग्रीकल्चर फार्म के नेट में फंसा हुआ है, उस वजह से इतना हाईली रेस्ट्रिक्टेड मूवमेंट आ रहा है, अदरवाइज बर्ड्स में ऐसा रेस्ट्रिक्टेड मूवमेंट नहीं होता है। उसने रेस्क्यू किया, रिलीज किया, फोटो लिया, हमें शेयर किया और उसके बाद उसने एक वीडियो भी बनाया, और जो उसकी खुशी थी वो आप मतलब देखने जैसी थी, और वो बर्ड क्या था वो भी जानने जैसा है, लेसर फ्लोरिकन क्रिटिकली इंडेंजर्ड एंड दैट इज नेटिव रेंज इन इंडिया। तो एक बर्ड भी सेव करना कितनी बड़ी बात है, और इसी तरह से काफी सारी बार टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत सारी चीजों में हेल्प करती है उसी में। तो जो सर और बता रहे थे उसी में टेक्नोलॉजी हमारे फील्ड स्टाफ को हेल्प करना चाहिए, बाद में उससे उसको इतना मोटिवेशन मिला है कि हर बार उसको फॉलो करता है कि सर कहाँ है बर्ड, कैसे गया। इस तरह से काफी सारी टेक्नोलॉजी स्टाफ को मोटिवेट भी करती है, तो हमें इस एस्पेक्ट से भी उसको देखना चाहिए।
थैंक यू सो मच सर, थैंक यू मिस्टर मिश्रा, थैंक यू डॉक्टर मोहन राम, मिस्टर आपको सभी लोगों को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत अच्छा सेशन रहा, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much, everyone. We will now move on to our next session that focuses on promoting eco and sustainable tourism. There used to be an advertisement tagline: wherever you go, the network follows. In view of the rapid growth in tourism, the line could be tweaked to: wherever tourists go, garbage follows. Forest Department too has been trying to fight the menace. There are areas where forest officials have even barred the tourist entry of plastic bags. To talk about how to sustain eco and sustainable tourism, today we have IFS officers Miluk Tassar, Conservator of Forests, Arunachal Pradesh, and Mr. Manoj Kumar, Managing Director, Jungle Lodges and Resorts Limited, Bangalore. Senior television personality and editor of Tice.com, Mr. Manoj Kumar Singh, will moderate the session. I welcome you all, sir. Mike. Mike. Kindly check the mic, please.
A very warm welcome to all the eco warriors here. और आप सबकी सेवाएं खास करके पिछले सेशन के बाद इस देश के लिए और हम सबके लिए बड़ी शानदार रही हैं। हम उसका स्वागत करते हैं और आप लोग का सम्मान करते हैं। एक बार जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं हमारे इको वॉरियर्स के लिए यहाँ पर। And I would begin with one very interesting fact that what I have seen in my research that India stands at number 3 in terms of domestic tourists. So, in fact, only behind US and China, though the gap between China and India is huge, but so does the opportunity for ecotourism in India. Also, if you look at the numbers, for ecotourism, we have a very conducive environment in this country. So we have got 70% of Himalayas, 7,000 kilometers of, coastline. And I think we are at number 6 in terms of UNESCO recognized heritage sites. So there are so many things which actually creates a perfect picture for all of us. So I'll begin with, sir, you come from Northeast Arunachal, and whenever we think of ecotourism, a lot of people, we all go for, weekend holidays, holidays during, this festive season. And सबके पास, I'm sure सबके मोबाइल में सैकड़ों पिक्चर्स, रील्स और सेल्फीज होंगी पिछले हॉलीडेज की. So Northeast is one of the most beautiful landscape we have in India. So first of all, let us know what is ecotourism. ये क्या है? And how do we differentiate between ecotourism and environment friendly tourism? Are they both different or one thing?
First of all, thank you very much for having me. I come from Northeast and I'm from Arunachal Pradesh. So, ecotourism basically is tourism in natural place where I would say people go there and with some responsibilities of not littering or to be careful towards nature conservation. And I would say one important aspect of it should be that the local people should be benefited out of it. There should not be any third person involved. And secondly, people going there should be responsible and should take back something, take some lessons from the ecotourism. So this is how I would define ecotourism.
Great. मनोज जी, आप खुद कर्नाटक से आते हैं और आप एक इको टूरिज्म का लॉज चलाते हैं. And Karnataka, I believe, is the 4th largest, I would say, state जहां से सबसे ज्यादा डोमेस्टिक टूरिज्म आता है इस देश में. अराउंड लास्ट as per 2021 figures is around 80 million somewhere. So आपका एक्सपीरियंस क्या है और आप कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे इको टूरिज्म को?
In fact, Karnataka is one pioneer state where the government has taken an initiative way back in 1980s to start an ecotourism company. So that's how the government of Karnataka has entered into ecotourism and started encouraging the ecotourism in the wilderness area especially. The primary reason why we started this as a company is that the laws did not permit private people to enter into that particular domain. So the only government institution can establish a forest area. But there were the aspirations of the people. People wanted to come and visit the forest. People come and spend time with the nature, but there is no scope for that. So that's how they started. with not like a resort, but nature camps kind of thing. Then we converted that into a kind of a company, and now we are having 29 properties across the state. So when it comes to ecotourism, basically some space where people would like to live with the water body or from the forest or just pure like waterfalls or nature, something like that. So in ecotourism in Karnataka per se is something to do with either water or it's something to do with the forest. So we have restricted ourselves into these two domains, not beyond this as an ecotourism in Karnataka.
That's great. I think most of the people they look for a selfie point rather than But Karnataka has these two great landscape, but Northeast has everything: waterfall, peaks, snow, mountain, jungle, everything. So, sir, please tell us how your state, particularly you as a head in the department, how do you promote ecotourism? What are the new initiatives you guys are taking to promote this?
Yeah, I come from a place, Arunachal Pradesh, where the total geographical area has around 80% of it under forest cover. So I would say people go there basically to see the nature. So every tourism in Arunachal Pradesh should be ecotourism. So we promote it that way, that we are promoting homestays, and we are mostly promoting bird tourism, wildlife tourism, because Arunachal Pradesh is all forest and nature. So every every tourist going there is linked to ecotourism. So we are promoting our state that way.
So Manojji, one more thing, as we say, there's a lot of tourism happening uh, on the name of ecotourism, and how much tourism is too much tourism? Is it for how ecotourism promotes conservation, and is it actually conservation, or does that also harm the nature?
So it's very very difficult to draw the line actually. How much is enough kind of thing, especially when it comes to ecotourism or tourism. That's where the role of the government and then the role of the department comes into picture. So, for example, in Karnataka, we have identified something like 27 trekking routes. When it comes to Bangalore city and then around Bangalore, you have the trek routes. The number is unlimited. People can go in thousands. But now we have put a restriction there. There's 150 is the carrying capacity. So we mean it. When we say 150 means we mean it. For example, in Nagarhole Tiger Reserve, where one of the resort is there, 16 vehicles means 16 vehicles. So that carrying capacity limit is possible only when the government really takes it seriously as far as ecotourism is concerned. And that's also the precise reason why the forest department, in collaboration with the tourism department, has started this company. For example, in most of my nature camps, the number of cottages is 10. I can make it 20, I can make it 30, but beyond that 10 or 15, the very pleasure of being in nature gets spoiled. So the carrying capacity definition and then respect for that is very, very important when it comes to ecotourism to be sustainable as well as having the less carbon footprint. Also to give that experience which people are looking forward to. To be honest with you, ecotourism is not mass tourism. It is a class tourism at the end of the day. If you make it mass tourism, then that's anything you are opening it for that, it gets spoiled.
That is what we have seen in Delhi and around Uttarakhand and Himachal. If you go there, you see a lot of too much of rush, too much of thrash around hills. So somebody has said, be the traveler, not the tourist. A traveler has a stake in the place, but a tourist is somebody who comes and go. So since we are running out of time, I'll pose just last question to both of you. How do we make our travelers or tourists, in fact, responsible tourist or traveler? Uh, how can we make them a stakeholder in this entire tourism thing?
See, first of all, let us make them responsible tourists in our properties. Anybody who comes, the very behavior of our people, room boys or the naturalist or the like a driver, the very behavior makes them behave appropriately. For example, when we are traveling in a park, somebody throws a plastic bottle. My driver will put a brake. He will not shout. He will not talk. He'll just pick up and then keep it. It is more than slapping on his face. The fellow realizes that he can't do that in this particular park. So I think the way we behave as an institution makes all the difference in educating people, rather than telling them or penalizing or punishing. That doesn't work. More than that, I felt that the behavior, how we conduct ourselves as a resort or as a company, makes all the more difference. So that's how we have been able to manage it. That is one thing. That is, you have to demonstrate. You have to show as an exhibition, as an example, rather than just talking in terms of. As far as the responsible behavior is concerned, this is very, very crucial in terms of educating people. And more than that, what I have seen is in Junglehouse resorts particularly. Last year we had 172,000 guests who came, stayed with us, and then went back. And 60% are repeat customers. And when I say 60% repeat customers, we are giving them that experience which they are looking forward to. That's what is more important in ecotourism, to make them come repeatedly and then experience it. And another thing, as my colleague and then friend from Arunachal was telling, employing the local people is very, very crucial also in making this ecotourism be a successful model. So out of something like 850 staff who were working with me, almost 820 are local boys and girls who are working. They were not trained. They are trained properly, and then they were raw actually when they came. But thorough training and then skilling them has really made a lot of difference in educating the traveler who comes to our properties.
That's wonderful. So how do you create this balance?
As I said, in tourism in Arunachal Pradesh is all ecotourism. So whatever limited other places, tourism spots we have, they are also located in natural areas. So we are promoting ecotourism, and the number of tourists visiting the areas are not very high, and we do not have very good infrastructure, but we are promoting high income, low impact tourism. And for that, we have tied up with like Make My Trip and all from the Arunachal Tourist Department. And for tourism in Arunachal Pradesh, we have SOPs. So those SOPs are mandatory to be followed. So we have tied up with these organizations to promote tourism, and these SOPs are all ecotourism based SOPs.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, both of you, gentlemen. Thank you. Thanks for gracing the occasion.
Thank you, Manu. Thank you very much.
What an engaging conversation. Thank you so much, panelists. We will now explore how social media can be used for conservation and discuss the future roadmap to engage with the youth. There are some IFS officers who have championed the social media. They have millions of followers who wait for their amazing posts with bated breath. These posts contain photographs, videos, or even simple text that enrich people's knowledge about our forests and wildlife, about our biodiversity. We are living in a consumer centric society where consumption is the key, not conservation. The challenge is growing with every generation. This is why we wish to discuss how the youth can be engaged with conservation of our flora and fauna. We have a panel of distinguished guests who not only interact with the youth but also with young IFS officers and train them with new strategies. Let's welcome Mr. S.K. Awasthi, Additional Director of Indira Gandhi National Forest Academy, Dehradun, Ms. Sudha Raman, Member Secretary of State Planning Commission, Tamil Nadu, and Mr. Parveen Kaswan, the Deputy Director of Buxa Tiger Reserve, West Bengal, on the stage. Senior journalist and well-known TV face, Ms. Mukta Singh and Mr. Kanhaiya Singh will now moderate this session.
हेलो एवरीवन। आज ये पैनल होस्ट करना मेरे लिए एक बहुत ही सौभाग्य की बात है बिकॉज ऑफ टू रीजंस। वन इज दिस ऑगस्ट गैदरिंग, people who are responsible to make sure that we have the green cover and fresh air to breathe और हम दिल्ली एनसीआर वालों से ज्यादा इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस और कौन समझ सकता है. और दूसरा, सोशल मीडिया विच फॉर मी इज द बेस्ट लेवलर इन द सोसाइटी, फिर चाहे वो ज्योग्राफीज हो, जेंडर हो या फिर एज हो. And this panel is really very interesting because even while living away from the mainland and amidst forests and jungle, my guests have managed to become not only national but global influencers of sorts. So please welcome S.K. Avasthi ji, Sudha Raman ji, Praveen Kaswan ji. So my first question to all three panelists: how did it all start?
I think you can start. The question is, how did the love for social media start?
First of all, thank you for having me here. It's a lovely and very experienced panel we have. So, you see, what, in my opinion, this is the service which work in remote places. You leave aside spotlight. We rarely see sunlight. So, when I was working in remote areas, for example, now only I am working in Baksa Tiger Reserve, which is one of the remotest. After that, just on the Bhutan border. So I realized ki people should be informed what we are doing, what our field staff is doing, what we people are doing in these remote places, whether it's about habitat management, protection, enforcement of laws, use of technology. So with that aim only, I started that people should be informed. And as you know, in conservation, there are various aspects. One of the aspect is awareness, information dissemination. So with that motive, I started using social media.
The same question.
Yeah, hello. Thanks to you all to have me here today. I feel so honored to be here today. As Parvin rightly told that first thing was that when we entered into the forest service and we said when we had the IFS just behind our name, the first question what everyone asked was, well, is it foreign service? Okay, so I used to tell them, no, it's not foreign service, it's forest service. So it started from there, in fact. So that was the initiation that which gave me the kind of a sense that okay, there is a service called as forest service. As Parvin said, we all work in remotest part of the country, and the kind of work what we do and the department is doing is still not there. Even at this present stage, when there is so much of media attention, still we have got so many forest officers and forest staffs who are doing wonderful work. Still, the most part of the world or even the cities around them doesn't know that such thing has been happening. So that's when I thought that the social media could be the right platform to reach out to people, to sensitize them of not just only about the works what the department has been doing in silent, and it's also to sensitize people about to work along with the forest department, because in this era it's not only the responsibility of the forest department or the officers in the department to work for conservation, it's the duty and responsibility of every citizen to do that. So the kind of sensitization and to take nature and forest as a serious matter and to work for that, that's something which was a strong idea behind using social media. And fortunately, I think it was during the same period that most of us in the service, we took up into the social media, and now I think we have got a huge wave of recognition, and lots of people that I could see is that whenever we go interact with the students or with the aspirants, they say that, oh, we wanted to be a forest officer. So that's the kind of a reach I could see within a decade. The decade, when I joined the service, and within a span of like 10 years, I think there is a kind of a very good recognition not only for the service but also for the department and the work. So that's the change here.
You raise a very important point. I would like to take this conversation forward with Vasti sir. Youth और टेक्नोलॉजी का एक अद्भुत कॉम्बिनेशन इस देश में हो गया है, and many people say that probably India has leapfrogged 20 years. आप being in this service and being in this service, and as they pointed out, most of the time you are working in the remotest parts of the country. How do you think we can connect youth to this entire
ecosystem of forestry, ecotourism, and being a responsible citizen through promoting it.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I must congratulate you for selecting a very, very important subject for discussion. And because there are two things, social media and role of youth or the engagement of youth. So I'll try to frame my answer accordingly. I'll be merging the two issues. Look, I come from a very, you can say, old generation as my.
So that was why that question was directed because of that.
Yes.
You are seeing
So-
you are
Sorry to intervene. I should say that sir was trainer when we were the professionals at the academy. Sir was my professor.
so that was exactly the reason why that question was pointed to.
So that's why I want to traverse that journey, which began because I come from 1991 batch of Indian Forest Service. At that time, the concept of social media was not known to people, and rather there were only newspapers, or you could say that the television and radio, where some occasional programs on environment, on importance of environmental conservation kind of things would appear, and that would be very few and far between. But in last decade, as Sudha said, a revolution has come. Actually, what happens, the importance of social media cannot be overemphasized in any field. But when it comes to environment, it has got a special value. Environment is something which you can like steer your agenda only on basis of awareness. If people are aware, then definitely things will move in your favor. If there is no awareness, then you can see that how we can spoil our environment, we can do lot many wrong things which are not actually desirable. If you look at the youth population, we are very fortunate in our country that we have a very, very good percentage of youth population. In my opinion, what I see, like the generation, which is you can say maybe beyond 50 or beyond 60, for them environment can be a little inferior priority. Not that it should come on agenda number one, but for the youth of this country, or for the youth of this world, rather, I would say, environment conservation, or you can say the latest issues which are coming up, like pollution, like climate change. The issues are very, very important because they are going to bear the brunt of this. So this is how youth becomes so important in this agenda. And the point is that although the issues of environmental conservations are not national, they are mostly global, but the policymakers or the government are who are making the rules, or who are you can say governing the environmental policies, are mostly people who come from a very old generation. So I think the youth have to wake up, and they have to get involved in all this, because unfortunately, I don't have any hesitation in saying that unfortunately there have been many movements, there have been number of movements, but the youth have still to, like, they have to find their place.
Avasthi is making a very important point and a prominent one also. I would like Queen to interfere in this, and you are perhaps more young and more savvy in terms of social media usage. How do you see that difference that Avasthi just pointed out? Is the youth, today's youth, really that conscious about environment and all the issues that Avasthi really pointed? Because you have been active on social media for the last 10 years, Twitter feed I was seeing. What is the kind of response you get from the posts you put on, especially from people who are young and they don't have much time to really look at it?
You see, from last 10 years, if my account is a barometer of, are people becoming aware, or are people getting connected, then they are connecting. Okay, and you see, we want people to, young people to appreciate nature, environment, wildlife, but we need to inform them about that also. For example, as I said, since I work in a remote place, we are managing elephants or bisons, rhino, many other animals. I mean, I document those things and I post them in a simple manner. People get connected. They get knowledge, they get information, and they will appreciate only the things which they come to know. So this is a platform in which there's a lot of spread. I mean, fast spread. Viewership is huge. You can connect with millions of people in within an hour. So I think we are moving. If social media can be used in a better way, then yes, it is useful, and youth will be connected.
प्रवीण जी, बिफोर वी टेक दिस कॉन्वर्सेशन अहेड, मैं तो पहले आपसे ये समझना चाहती हूँ कि हैविंग मोर देन 4.5 lakh followers on Twitter, now X, तो how do you feel? You feel like a celebrity? You feel that pressure of being a celebrity?
The pressure of being a celebrity. Yeah.
You see now I feel ki it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, correct.
As your reach grows, your vulnerability also grows. You need to be very particular what you are posting, what kind of things you can post. You are not drawing any controversy, and you see, we are government service. There are rules, regulations. Within that, we have to post things. So celebrity, of course, but with the various limits.
अवस्थी सर, obviously क्योंकि दो टॉपिक हमने एक साथ किया because of so social media youth is the main topic of conversation. He pointed out, and Mukta said that is almost a celebrity status. Do you think now with this power of social media, you have to be more responsible, especially the young officers who are in the services? They're more vulnerable to being questioned, to being scrutinized. And how can they be more responsible?
I think what Praveen said, I agree to that without any doubt. The use of social media in creating awareness, in making the people know about the ill effects if we keep on damaging our environment is immense. But, there is no doubt about that. My point was that although Praveen is doing a lot on social media and that is helping a lot. But my point was that youth are responsible and they are very, very aware, and they know the stakes, the importance of those stakes, that things are not going in their favor. My point was, when it comes to policy making, suppose we have our nationally determined targets of this country, what we are going to plan in the next 10 years or 20 years, or if you come to the sustainable development goals, there are 17 goals, and out of that, around 9 goals, they make reference to the youth. And India, because we are basically a country, as I said, we have a demographic bulge to build. So we have a greater responsibility. We have a greater responsibility because the role of youth, the global role, or if you can say the country role, is very, very significant in our country. My point, which I was trying to make, that the youth have not been involved in the policy making so far. The policy making, because it is mostly the government which do it, and in government there haven't been any formal mechanisms to involve the youth. Because had the youth been there, our policies in the field of climate change, in the field of environmental conservation, in the field of meeting those sustainable development goals, which we call Global 2030, would have been.
Sudha ji, how can social media be used more effectively to promote the cause of preserving the environment, ecology, and forest tourism?
If I should quote you an example from what work we have did in the Chennai Zoo, it's that I think it was in the year 2018. We started with a program called as Zoo Ambassador. Usually, people come to zoo, they think zoo is a place of recreation, tourism, they spend a day, they enjoy it and then go back. But then people who worked in zoo will be really able to appreciate that zoo is not just a medium of recreation or tourism point alone. Beyond that, it's also a place for conservation. It's also a place for rescue and rehabilitation, where a lot of those wild animals which have been illegally trafficked, these are the kind of a home which also does this rehabilitation of these illegally, stressed wild animals. So what happened was that when we conceptualized the Zoo Ambassador program, we went on to social media telling that the Zoo Ambassadors will be getting. It was started as a summer camp activity for the school children. We just advertised it widely in the social media, and then we made every process to be on the online website. And to our surprise, when we opened up the registration, within say 5 hours, the 4 batches was full. The 4 batches, each batch had about 30 children, and 4 batches makes it to 120. In about 5 hours, the entire 120 slot was full. And there was a request, and we got phone calls for recommendation to get enrolled into the summer camp activity. So what started as a summer camp activity became larger. We extended further. We what to tell, like, we expanded it further, and today we are also doing a species ambassador program. It has come to an extent that people went on to social media, they put in word, like passing on the information of all these good things happening. It spread on wild. Parents came to us and telling that, "Look, these children are questioning us so much about nature, wildlife, and we are not aware of this. So why don't you conduct a special camp for us to get sensitized? Therefore, when my children question, I'll be able to answer." That's one thing which I would like to quote you. That was the kind of a change what we were able to visibly experience, what the media and the social media combinedly can have on the public in with respect to ecology, environment, conservation, all that. And second thing, want to answer is that at least in Tamil Nadu, the youth have been involved largely into also the policy matters as well. We have started with something called as Green Fellowship. This is one thing I think which there is something called as CM Fellowship as well as a Green Fellowship. Every district will be having a Green Fellow who has been exclusively been trained on climate change aspects, sustainable development, aspects of sustainability, and other measures. These children, these young trainees, they go to every district, they work along with the district administration in disseminating the kind of knowledge or the information what they have learned, and be at the field level to be like assisting the field level implementations, and then be as a channel who will be able to support the government in feeding in the kind of information which helps us in kind of evolving with strategies and actions related to this matter. So I think that is a kind of a very good, if we are using this opportunity in a very good manner, if we are able to strategize it in a very good manner, I think the reach will be really amazing and appreciated.
It's a very pertinent and important point that you made, Sudhaji. I will take this conversation forward with Vasti Saab. This is a classic case where lateral entry or engagement from the public is kind of a beating result. At the government of India level also, we are seeing this being initiated, at least the lateral entry of domain experts in all the segments. Do you think that is the answer to the question that you are raising, that in policy making we need more young, fresh minds in this?
Yes, it touches a little bit to my concern. Actually, if you remember, there were many programs where we wanted to involve the youth. Say Nehru Yuva Kendra, and there were several schemes. And very recently, some 8 schemes have been merged. And we have formed one Rashtriya Yuva Sashktikaran Karikram. We have formed that. We wanted the synergy to be there. So efforts have been made. Definitely, it is there, and it is showing also. Sudha said that there were so many takers, and the seats or the slots could be filled up in an hour time. So something which is very appreciable, and a lot has happened in this particular area. And environmental awareness, if you really want to test among the youth or among the older generation, it's multifold, and the people are very, very responsible despite their age. Now the point is empowerment. That how do we empower our youth? Because there are several initiatives which have been kind of, you can say, informal initiatives. And if you look at the global level, there are Fridays for Future, something like that. There are several programs, and they're all being steered by the youth of this world. So that is happening. But still, the empowerment is something which we still crave for, where we involve the youth very directly to come forward and have a role in framing those policies.
मैं तो प्रवीण जी से कुछ बेसिक ही सवाल पूछ रही हूँ सोशल मीडिया के कि हैव यू एवर गॉट ट्रोल्ड एंड डज इट बॉदर?
शायद आज तक मैंने कुछ कंट्रोवर्शियल पोस्ट नहीं किया है, बट द मीडियम इज सच कि इट हैज इंस्टेंट फीडबैक सिस्टम। गालियां इंस्टेंट पड़ेगी, ठीक है, तो लेकिन अभी तक मुझे मौका नहीं मिला।
सेलिब्रिटी होने का कॉस्ट है। अच्छा, आपसे ही सवाल है कि ऑफ लेट हमने सोशल मीडिया का बहुत ही इररिस्पॉन्सिबल और अग्रेसिव यूसेज देखा है। तो आपके हिसाब से व्हाई आर पीपल सो वेंटफुल एंड एज पॉलिसी मेकर व्हाट इज योर टेक ऑन हाउ टू मेंटेन द सैनिटी ऑफ द कॉन्वर्सेशन ऑन वेरियस सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स?
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि सोशल मीडिया पे ज्यादा किसी भी व्यूज को, भले ही वो पसंद किया जाए या ना पसंद किया जाए, एक्सट्रीम व्यूज को हमेशा ज्यादा स्प्रेड मिलता है। So people are getting into that because they have realized if they will be talking sensible things, normal things, there are no takers, of course. And then you see, for example, Twitter has now come up with a model, monetization. It needs huge engagement to earn something. So these models are also going in that direction, which are making extreme views very normal in social media. Policy level, I think at least for officers, there are already guidelines. And now a lot of stuff is coming up, like government fact checkers, even private fact checkers also, which are reducing this chance of extremism. So I think it's a dynamic in nature. So the media itself will take place. There will be currents and there will be counter currents also, which we are seeing now.
I think this conversation can go on and on. Youth and technology and social media, it's a never-ending topic of discussion. We are short of time, so we have to just wrap up because the program has been a little recent. So we would like to thank all of you for joining this conversation and enlightening us with all the experience and that you have.
Thank you, everybody, for this insightful conversation, and many congratulations to the team, Indian Mastermind and Shresth Bharat, for putting this fabulous show together. Thank you so much. Thank you all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. What an end to an intriguing conclave. So I hope you're all enjoying the ceremony so far. I would like to take this opportunity to invite you for joining us in high tea at on the ground level. I would also like to remind you to please visit the photo exhibition if you've not already done so. It is a wonderful display of talent from our offices, and we will assemble here again at 5:30 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you soon.
The Indian Forest Services stands as one of the three All India services of the Government of India, alongside the Indian Administrative Service and the Indian Police Service. It was constituted in the year 1966 under the All India Services Act of 1951. After successfully conquering the UPSC challenge, choosing the Indian Forest Services as a career path is no ordinary decision. Those who opt for the Indian Forest Services have a unique love for nature, a profound sense of responsibility towards our planet, and a firm passion for initiating sustainable and beneficial challenges for both humankind and the earth. These IFS officers are dedicated individuals actively engaged in promoting environmental conservation, sustainability, and the battle against climate change. Armed with knowledge and a profound sense of responsibility, eco warriors champion various causes, ranging from the preservation of biodiversity to the dissemination of awareness about pressing environmental issues. They drive change through grassroots initiatives, online campaigns, and community outreach, passionately encouraging societies and governments to embrace eco-friendly practices and policies. The infrastructure development like dams, roads, and railway line construction, besides mining for coal, diamonds, and minerals, also takes a toll on the environment. Indian Forest Services officers have ensured conservation of both flora and fauna in the country. Available data is a testimony that forest cover in India has increased over the years, and so has wildlife like tigers, leopards, and elephants. It is due to their sustained efforts that cheetahs have now returned after a gap of 70 years. Eco warriors possess a deep understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and our planet for current and future generations, thereby catalyzing a more sustainable and
towards our planet and a firm passion for initiating sustainable and beneficial challenges for both humankind and the earth. These IFS officers are dedicated individuals actively engaged in promoting environmental conservation, sustainability, and the battle against climate change, armed with knowledge and a profound sense of responsibility. And so has wildlife like tigers, leopards, and elephants. It is due to their sustained efforts that cheetahs have now returned after a gap of 70 years. Eco warriors possess a deep understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and nature, tirelessly working to safeguard wildlife like tigers, leopards, and elephants. It is due to their sustained efforts that cheetahs have now returned after a gap of 70 years. Eco warriors possess a deep understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and nature, tirelessly working to safeguard our planet for and so has wildlife like tigers, leopards, and elephants. It is due to their sustained efforts that cheetahs have now returned after a gap of 70 years. Eco warriors possess a deep understanding of the delicate balance between humanity and nature, tirelessly working to safeguard our planet for current our beautiful planet, Earth's eco warriors are none other than Earth. These IFS officers are dedicated individuals actively engaged in promoting environmental conservation, sustainability, and the battle against climate change. Armed with knowledge and a profound sense of responsibility, eco warriors champion various causes ranging from the preservation of biodiversity to the dissemination of awareness about pressing environmental Our beautiful planet, Earth's eco-warriors, are none other than our IFS officers, who serve as passionate advocates for the planet's well-being. The Indian Forest Services stands as one of the 3 All India services of the Government of India, alongside the Indian Administrative Service human kind and the earth. These IFS officers are dedicated individuals actively engaged in promoting environmental conservation, sustainability, and the battle against climate change, armed with knowledge and a profound sense of responsibility. responsibility. Eco warrior. Increased over the years.
Now invite Senior Officer Mr. C.P. Goyal on stage, and I request Ms. Mukta Singh to please welcome him. Also, I would request Mr. S.P. Yadav to please come up on the stage, and request Mr. Kanhaiya Singh to do the honor of welcoming him with our tokens of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's give them a huge round of applause. moment to introduce to you our esteemed jury panel. Please welcome Mr. Keshav Verma, the panel's chairman, currently serving as Program Director, Global Tiger Initiative at the World Bank and the Member Secretary of Global Tigers Forum. Dr. Rajesh Gopal, Chairman of Network for Verification and Conservation of Forests, Dr. Devendra Pandey. Chief Economist with World Resources Institute, Dr. Madhu Verma, and Editor of Indian Masterminds, Mr. Sharad Gupta. So let's hear a few words from them.
Let's move on to the awards, because that, of course, is the most anticipated part of the evening.
Now, the first award for the night is presented for the category Forest Protection, and the award goes to Ms. Basu Kanojia, DFO of North Seoni, Madhya Pradesh. Please welcome her to the stage. Here's a small video clip presenting her work for the protection of forests. Sound, please.
Environmental degradation and natural resources and their sustainability is under tremendous pressure today. The greed to thrive without sustainable management could lead to depletion of flora and fauna. The responsibility to strike a balance between environmental degradation and infrastructure development is lying on the shoulders of Indian Forest Services officers. They have to manage the struggle between the need and the greed. Checking encroachments is a major headache for the foresters. Even bigger headache is getting encroachers to vacate forest land. The officers enforcing the law have been getting life threats. Yet, here is an irrepressible IFS officer. She got over 7,000 hectares of forest land freed from encroachers in Madhya Pradesh, earning the nickname Encroacher Eviction Specialist. The award for forest protection goes to 2010 batch officer Ms. Basu Kanojia, at present posted as DFO North Seoni. Let's give her a big hand.
Congratulations, ma'am. Your work for the protection of forests is truly commendable.
Now for our second award. Our second award is for wildlife conservation. And the award goes to Dr. Mohan Ram for his exemplary work in wildlife conservation in Gir Forest, Gujarat. Here is a short AV showcasing Dr. Ram's splendid work.
Dr. Mohan Ram is a renowned wildlife conservationist who has made significant contributions to the conservation and management of the Asiatic lion and other wildlife species in the Gir region. He has pioneered the use of advanced technology and science in wildlife conservation and management, including the development of the AI-based software SIMBA, which stands for Software with Intelligent Marking-Based Identification of Asiatic Lions. Dr. Mohan has also implemented innovative strategies to enhance the management and quality of grasslands, reintroduced the Indian grey hornbill to its native habitat in the Gir forest, and established two crucial rescue centers, the Lion Hospital in Sasangir and the Rescue Center Jamwala. Under his visionary leadership, the livelihoods of local villagers have found unwavering support through a series of transformative efforts, including the capacity building training of over 6,500 students and the establishment of a self-help group to operate a canteen in the GIZ Devalia. Dr. Mohan is a staunch advocate for fostering public engagement in conservation endeavors and is deeply committed to igniting a passion for conservation in young minds. His unwavering dedication to wildlife conservation and environmental awareness has had a profound impact on the Gir region and beyond. So please join us in welcoming Dr. Mohan Ram a 2012 batch IFS officer currently posted as Sanctuary Superintendent of Sasan-Gir, Gujarat, for the prestigious award for wildlife conservation.
Congratulations, Dr. Mohan. Your work is truly remarkable and a testament to your dedication. Thank you very much.
We now present our next award under the category of wildlife protection, and the award goes to none other than Mr. Ritesh Sarotia, Regional Deputy Director, NRWCCB Headquarters, MOF and CC, Delhi. Let's take a look at this short video, specially curated to show his amazing work in the field.
Predators too are sometimes preyed upon inside their own lair by the master predator, human beings. Yet, the green warriors of Indian Forest Services not only nab the hunters, but ensure exemplary punishment to them. It is not easy for foresters to track down the heavily armed poachers and arrest them. Here is an officer who, even in his limited resources, has stood like a wall between the poachers and the forest. He has, in several instances, caught poachers of endangered wildlife like tigers and pangolins. His impeccable investigation in Madhya Pradesh's Special Task Force ensured maximum punishment of 7 years to interstate poachers. Please welcome the 2017 batch officer, Ritesh Sarotia, Regional Deputy Director, Wildlife Crime Control Bureau, Northern Region, posted in New Delhi.
Please give him a huge round of applause, everyone. Congratulations, sir. Your work in the field is indeed outstanding.
And now to our next award, which is for Best Use of Technology for Conservation. And the award goes to Mr. Biswajit Mishra. He is currently serving as CCF CTI in Bangalore. Let's take a look at this short video highlighting Mr. Mishra's extraordinary work.
Forest protection law may be more than 50 years old, but IFS officers are using latest technology to protect the forests and wildlife. Tonight, we are honoring an officer whose use of technology has transformed prevention and detection of forest crimes. Having served as the head of ICT wing of the Karnataka Forest Department for more than 5 years, he spearheaded many business process re-engineering solutions. As the CEO of the Center for E-Governance and Director of the Electronic Delivery of Citizen Services, he used technology to make life easier for people. As IT Director of DFTC, he created and implemented intelligent transport system in Bengaluru. As Head of State COVID War Room, he provided fully integrated IT-enabled solutions for real-time patient monitoring. He is credited with the development of major IT applications implemented in the Karnataka Forest Department during his present posting. Please join us in celebrating 1998 batch officer Biswajit Mishra, the Chief Conservator of Forest, Information Communication Technology in Karnataka, for the Best Use of Technology Award.
Congratulations, Mr. Mishra. Your innovative use of technology is helping to protect our environment in new and exciting ways.
Now, our last award for the evening is the award for Community Connect. And it goes to Mr. Milo Tassar, the Chief Conservator of Forests in Arunachal Pradesh. Here is a beautiful AV for his work in the state.
He is someone who has not only promoted bird tourism in Arunachal Pradesh, but also converted the traditional tree logging community of Buguns into tree protectors. Buguns, a scheduled tribe, were known as timber merchants. After 17 square kilometers of the Singchung Community Forest was declared as a community reserve by state government in 2017, the Buguns have been actively engaged in the forest protection and conservation. His list of rediscoveries includes the Arbor Hills agama, the Jordan's red-spotted pit viper, and butterflies like Ludlow's Bhutan glory, Tibetan brimstone, and of course, the critically endangered bird Bugun leokishla, which has only 14 to 15 surviving population in the world, mostly living in Singchung Bugun Village Community Reserve. His community-involved conservation initiative has become a learning model for IFS probationers who have been visiting Eagle Nest and Singchung Bugun Village Community Reserve since 2014. The award for community involvement in forest conservation goes to the 2009 batch officer Milo Tassar, who at present is Conservator of Forests, headquarters of Arunachal Pradesh.
A very big congratulations to you, sir.
So these were just a few of the many eco-warriors who are making a difference in the world. I encourage everyone to learn about their work and to support their efforts, because together we can create a more sustainable future for all. And now, I request our esteemed chief guest, the Union Minister, Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, to please say a few words. A huge round of applause, everyone.
आज के इस अवार्ड प्रोग्राम में उपस्थित डीजी फॉरेस्ट श्री सीपी गोयल जी, एनटीसीए के डायरेक्टर श्री एसपी यादव जी, इंडियन मास्टरमाइंड और इंडियन फॉरेस्ट एसोसिएशन के सभी पदाधिकारीगण और जिन अधिकारियों को ये अवार्ड मिला है और जो यहाँ पर उपस्थित हैं, ऐसे सभी प्रबुद्धगण। वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन ये कोई सर्विस नहीं है, ये पैशन है। हम लोगों को अपनी डेस्टिनी के हिसाब से इस सर्विस को ज्वाइन करने का अवसर मिला है, लेकिन जिंदगी में दो शब्द होते हैं, प्रारब्ध और पुरुषार्थ। कई बार हमको डेस्टिनी किसी चीज़ पर लेकर आ जाती है, कोई एग्ज़ाम दे देते हैं, कोई सर्कमस्टांस होता है, कोई कैरियर बनाने का कंपटीशन होता है, वो हमारा प्रारब्ध होता है, वो हमारी डेस्टिनी होती है। लेकिन उसके बाद जो सर्विस हमको मिलती है, उसमें जो हम मेहनत करते हैं, जो उपलब्धि हासिल करते हैं, जो अपने जिम्मेदारी का से जुड़ा हुआ हम पैशन और लगन पैदा करते हैं, वो हमारा पुरुषार्थ होता है। और पुरुषार्थ का हमेशा सम्मान होता है। और वाइल्ड लाइफ कंजर्वेशन में केवल प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट नहीं है, कम्युनिटी सर्विस भी है, वाइल्ड लाइफ क्राइम को रोकना भी है, न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी का अडेप्टेशन भी है, सोसाइटी का भी अडेप्टेशन करवाना है, और उसके साथ साथ पर्सन बिहेवियर के द्वारा भी चीज़ों को आगे बढ़ाना है। और इन सब चीज़ों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए ये जो इंडियन मास्टरमाइंड जो और इंडियन फॉरेस्ट एसोसिएशन ने जो अवार्ड देने की परंपरा करी है, ये बहुत अच्छी है। लेकिन जिनको अवार्ड नहीं मिला, ऐसा नहीं उनमें भी क्षमता नहीं है, समय आएगा उनको भी पहचान और मान्यता मिलेगी। लेकिन इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विस ये केवल एक सर्विस नहीं है, ये एक मिशन है। आप सब इस मिशन में कर्मयोगी बन के काम करें, यही प्रधानमंत्री जी का संदेश है। अवार्ड वालों को बहुत बहुत बधाई। जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Now I would like to welcome Mr. Sharad Gupta, the editor of Indian Masterminds, to the stage. Mr. Gupta is a veteran journalist and has played a key role in organizing this event. I request Sharad sir to please say a few words.
Honorable Union Minister Shri Bhupendra Yadav ji, Honorable Minister of State Shri Ashwini Chaubey ji, Secretary Mrs. Leena Nandan, President of IFS Officers Association Shri SP Yadav, DG Forest Shri CP Goyal ji. Let me just in brief tell you about our journey, and I'll just take 2 minutes to extend a vote of thanks to all the honored guests. It was actually in 2020, the country had been locked out due to COVID pandemic, when we decided to start this indianmasterminds.com. तो इसके पीछे थॉट ये था कि बहुत ढेर सारे ब्यूरोक्रेट्स जो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, उनके काम को प्रोफाइल करने की ज़रूरत है। IAS, IPS, IRS और इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विस। तो इस तरह से हम लोगों ने ये जब जर्नी शुरू की और 300 से ज़्यादा जब हमने फॉरेस्ट सर्विस के ऑफिसर्स पे अपनी रिपोर्ट्स की, तो मालूम चला कि IFS अफसरों के लिए अलग से कहीं कोई अवार्ड नहीं है, उनके सम्मान नहीं कहीं है। तो बीच में मैं करीब मार्च अप्रैल की बात है, देहरादून में मेरी मुलाकात हुई डॉक्टर साकेत बडोला से, जो उस समय इंडियन फॉरेस्ट सर्विस एसोसिएशन के जनरल सेक्रेटरी थे। उनसे हमने इस बात पे बात की और वो काफ़ी इस चीज़ को उन्होंने पसंद किया। देन ही स्पोक टू द प्रेसिडेंट मिस्टर SP यादव एंड अल्टीमेटली वी डिसाइडेड टू इंस्टीट्यूट दिस अवार्ड। और आज जिस जो स्टेज पे हम देख रहे हैं, तो ये एक करीब 7-8 महीनों की मेहनत है जो आज हम इस जगह पे पहुँचे हैं। और मैं एक ही चीज़ कहना चाहता हूँ कि हम सभी चीज़ों के लिए जो अभी तक यहाँ आज आप लोगों ने देखी, इस पूरे चीज़ हर एक काम के पीछे DG फॉरेस्ट CP गोयल जी का बहुत बहुत सहयोग है। और मैं एक नाम और लेना चाहूँगा, श्री सुनीश बख्शी जी का। उन्होंने लास्ट मोमेंट पे जिस तरह से हमें हेल्प की, अदरवाइज़ उसके बिना ये अवार्ड पॉसिबल नहीं था। आप लोग बहुत ही शानदार काम कर रहे हैं। भले ही इस वर्ष हम सिर्फ 5 लोगों को सम्मानित कर पाए, लेकिन अगले वर्ष हम कहीं ज़्यादा लोगों को ये अवार्ड देना चाहेंगे। हम वन विभाग के साथ सहयोग के लिए कई और योजनाओं पर भी विचार कर रहे हैं। आशा है सिर्फ IFS अफसर ही नहीं, हमारे अगले प्रोजेक्ट में वन विभाग के सभी कर्मचारियों के लिए हम कुछ न कुछ अवश्य कर पाएँ। मंत्री जी, यादव जी और गोयल साहब, आप सभी लोगों का और जितने भी डिस्टिंग्विश्ड गेस्ट हैं, सभी के यहाँ आने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। बस एक रिक्वेस्ट और है कि जितने भी अवार्डीज़ हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि सब स्टेज पे आएँ और मंत्री जी के साथ एक फ़ोटो आपके लिए।
I would also like to request the award recipients to please join us on the stage for a photo op.
I would also like to invite the entire team of Indian Masterminds and Shresth Bharat to please come up on stage for a photo op. The entire team has worked really hard to make this happen.
very exciting, Nitish. They are just coming. आप बोल दो सब लोग प्लीज बैठे रहें.
जी. Everyone, please be seated. We have a very exciting show coming up by Nitish Bharati, the Send Art Show. So please have patience, and we will be right there with you.
एक बार मिनिस्टर आए होल्ड करो.
And our most sincerest apologies to Mr. Nitish, because the minister had very little time. That's why we had to stop the show in the middle. But we will resume the show shortly. Thank you. Lights dim, please. प्लीज एक बार जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए नीतीश.
चेयर हटा दो. चेयर हटा दो. हाँ? नहीं चेयर हटा दो. वो हट जाएगा. वही चेयर और टेबल हटा दो.
Music, please. No. Okay, just a second. Hold on.